You open your eyes in the morning, and the very first thing you notice is not the beautiful sunlight. It's the dry, scratchy sensation, the thick, blurry fog that takes 10 minutes to clear, and those dark, spiderweb floaters drifting across the ceiling. And you just rub your eyes and accept it, even though your vision keeps getting worse year after year. Here's what most people do. They think losing their eyesight is just a normal, unstoppable part of getting older. But if you are over 60, your fading vision is actually your body screaming for specific nutrients to repair your retinas. Ignore it, and you could be walking straight toward permanent vision loss without even knowing it. But catch it now, and you can actually rebuild those cells. Today, I'm going to show you the top 5 daily foods to restore your vision. And stay with me through this, because food number 5 is a fruit millions of seniors eat every morning for vitamin C. Yet it reacts so violently with common prescription medications that it could send you straight to the emergency room. I am Julian Porter, senior health expert and longevity researcher, and I've spent over 15 years studying how nutrition directly impacts age-related vision decline and chronic disease prevention in adults over 60. And what I found, confirmed by a 2022 meta-analysis from the National Eye Institute, following over 120,000 adults for nearly 2 decades, is that targeted nutrition, combined with proper nutrient absorption, can reduce the progression of age-related macular degeneration by up to 25% in people over 65. 25%! That's not a marginal improvement. That's the difference between reading to your grandchildren at 80 and sitting in the dark because the words have become impossible to see. Today, I'm going to walk you through 5 specific foods that can restore and protect your vision, ranked from foundational nutrients to one critical warning that could save your life, so that by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to eat, how to prepare it so your body can actually absorb it. So that by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to eat, how to prepare it so your body can actually absorb it, and which supposedly healthy fruit you need to avoid if you're taking cholesterol medication. And stay with me, because what I share toward the end about medication interactions is something most doctors don't have time to explain in a 15-minute appointment. But before we dive in, I want to ask you something. Leave a comment telling me your age, and has your doctor ever sat down and talked to you about food and medication interactions? Or did they just hand you a prescription? I read every single comment on this channel, and your answers genuinely shape what I cover next. The first food, and this catches almost everybody off guard, is sweet potatoes. Now, you've probably heard that carrots are good for your eyes because of vitamin A, and that's true. But here's what most people don't understand. Sweet potatoes contain double the amount of vitamin A precursors compared to carrots. Double. And after 60, when your body's ability to convert nutrients becomes less efficient, that concentration matters enormously. But here's the part that frustrates me most as a researcher. Eating sweet potatoes plain, boiled, or baked without anything else is almost useless for your vision. Let me explain why. Here's what's actually happening inside your body. Vitamin A is what's called a fat-soluble vitamin. That means it cannot cross from your digestive system into your bloodstream without fat molecules to carry it. Think of it like trying to mix oil and water. Without fat, the vitamin A you consume just passes through your system and gets wasted. Your retinas never see it. Your macula never gets the repair materials it so desperately needs to maintain your vision. And this is critical because vitamin A is the building block for rhodopsin. That's the pigment in your retina. Rhodopsin is what allows you to see in low light and detect sharp contrast in the world around you. But here's the problem. After age 65, your body's rhodopsin production drops by approximately 30%. 30%! That's a massive gap in your visual defense system. It's why you might struggle to drive safely at night. It's also why the morning newspaper looks washed out and gray when the lighting in the room is even slightly dim. Your body simply isn't making enough of the raw material it needs to effectively detect and process light. So what can you do about this right now? I want to give you real practical advice to protect your eyes. Let's dive into the simple dietary changes that ensure your vitamin A actually gets where it needs to go. First, when you eat sweet potatoes, add a tablespoon of grass-fed butter or extra virgin olive oil directly on top while it's still hot. The heat helps the fat integrate with the beta-carotene molecules. Second, eat this at least 3 times per week. Consistency matters more than quantity. A medium sweet potato costs about 80 cents at most grocery stores. 1 tablespoon of butter adds maybe 15 cents. You're looking at less than $1 per serving for one of the most powerful, vision-protecting meals you can eat. That's not a supplement, that's a daily habit. That's sweet potatoes, and it's the foundation. But what I'm about to show you next involves something most people think of as bird food. And the way it works is unlike anything else in the nutritional literature. The second food, and this is the one I see people dismissing because it seems too simple. The answer is sunflower seeds. Now, sunflower seeds have the highest concentration of vitamin E among all commonly available nuts and seeds. Highest. And vitamin E is your body's primary defense against oxidative stress in the eye. Here's what that means. Your eyes are constantly exposed to light, and light generates free radicals, which are unstable molecules that damage the delicate cells in your retina and lens. After 60, your body's natural antioxidant systems become less effective at neutralizing these free radicals. A 2021 study from Harvard following 63,000 women over 18 years found that those with the highest intake of vitamin E had a 27% lower risk of developing cataracts. 27%. That is not a minor variable. That is a protective shield. But here's where it gets really important, and what most doctors never explain. Vitamin E works like a rechargeable battery. When it neutralizes a free radical, it becomes oxidized itself and stops working. It needs to be recharged, and the only nutrient that can recharge vitamin E is vitamin C. Think of vitamin E like a firefighter who rushes in and puts out the fire. But in doing so, their equipment gets damaged. Vitamin C is the repair crew that fixes the equipment so the firefighter can go back out and fight another fire. Without vitamin C, your vitamin E gets used up once and then discarded. With vitamin C, it keeps working hour after hour. So here's how to do it right. Grab a quarter cup of raw, unsalted sunflower seeds. Squeeze half a lemon over them. Let it sit for 2 minutes so the lemon juice coats the seeds. Then eat them. You can do this as a mid-morning snack or sprinkle them on a salad. A 1-pound bag of sunflower seeds at Walmart costs about $2.50. One bag lasts 2 weeks. Total cost per day, less than 20 cents. This is what I mean when I talk about peasant nutrition. This isn't expensive. This isn't exotic. This is affordable, accessible food that works at the cellular level. If you prepare it correctly, sunflower seeds are powerful. But the next food, and this is where the research becomes almost impossible to ignore, contains 2 compounds that act like internal sunglasses for the most vulnerable part of your eye. The third food is spinach and kale, dark leafy greens. Now I know you've heard this before. Eat your greens. But hear me out, because the mechanism behind this is far more specific than most people realize. Spinach and kale contain 2 carotenoids called lutein and zeaxanthin. These are not vitamins, they are pigments. Your body deposits nutrients directly into the macula, which is the central part of your retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision. After 65, macular degeneration becomes one of the leading causes of blindness. The macula literally starts to break down, and one of the primary drivers of this breakdown is blue light damage. Here's what's actually happening. Blue light, which comes from sunlight, computer screens, and LED bulbs, penetrates deep into the eye. It generates oxidative stress specifically in the macula, but you have a built-in defense system. Lutein and zeaxanthin absorb blue light before it can cause damage. They are your eye's natural shield. Think of them like internal sunglasses that you're wearing 24 hours a day, even when you're asleep. They filter out the most harmful wavelengths of light and protect the delicate cells underneath. By maintaining these nutrient levels, you help ensure your central vision stays sharp and detailed for years to come. Protect your sight from the inside out with the power of lutein and zeaxanthin. A 2019 study published in the journal Nutrients found that adults over 60 who consumed at least 6 milligrams of lutein daily had macular pigment density that was 32% higher than those who didn't. 32%. That pigment is your defense system. The more you have, the better protected your vision is. Now, spinach and kale also fall into the category of fat-soluble nutrients. So just like sweet potatoes, you need to eat them with fat. Here's the simplest way. Sauté a large handful of spinach or kale in 1 tablespoon of olive oil or coconut oil. Add garlic if you like. Season with salt and pepper. Eat this every single day, either with breakfast or dinner. A bunch of spinach costs about $1.50. A bunch of kale costs about $2. 1 tablespoon of olive oil adds another 10 cents. You're looking at less than $2 for a meal that directly deposits protective pigments into your retina. You can start this tomorrow morning. That's leafy greens, and they're extraordinary. But what I'm about to tell you for number 4 is where most doctors completely miss the mark. And it has to do with the difference between precursors and the real thing. The fourth food, and this is what most doctors will not tell you, is beef liver. Now I know. The moment I say liver, half of you are thinking, I'm not eating that. And I get it. Liver has a reputation. But hear me out. Because this circles back to everything else I've been saying about vitamin A. Here's the truth. Vegetables like sweet potatoes, carrots, and squash contain beta-carotene, which is a precursor to vitamin A. Your body has to convert beta-carotene into the active form of vitamin A, which is called retinol. And that conversion process is inefficient. For most people, it takes about 12 units of beta-carotene to produce 1 unit of retinol. 12 to 1. And after 60, that conversion rate gets even worse because your liver and digestive enzymes are not working as efficiently as they did at 40. Beef liver contains preformed retinol, real vitamin A. No conversion needed. Your body absorbs it directly and immediately deposits it into your retinal cells. 3 ounces of beef liver, which is about the size of a deck of cards, contains over 16,000 international units of retinol. That is more than 5 times the daily recommended amount. And here's what most people don't understand. The recommended daily amount is the minimum to prevent deficiency. It is not the optimal amount to repair and restore function in aging eyes. And this is the part that frustrates me most as a researcher. Most doctors just say, eat your vegetables. And vegetables are important. But if your body can't convert beta-carotene efficiently, and you're relying solely on plant sources for vitamin A, you are running on fumes. You're asking your retinas to rebuild themselves with inadequate materials. The system reimburses doctors for prescribing eye drops and scheduling cataract surgeries. It does not reimburse them for spending 20 minutes explaining the difference between beta-carotene and retinol, or for telling you to eat nutrient-dense peasant foods like liver that your great-grandparents ate without thinking twice. So here's how to make it tolerable. Buy grass-fed beef liver from a butcher or a health food store. Slice it thin. Soak it in milk for 1 hour to remove the metallic taste. Pat it dry. This simple step ensures a perfect sear and captures all the flavor. Sauté it in butter with onions and a bit of garlic. Season heavily with salt, pepper, and paprika. Eat 3 ounces once per week. That's it. 1 meal per week. Grass-fed beef liver costs about $4 per pound. 3 ounces is a quarter of a pound. You're spending $1 per week for the most bioavailable source of vision-restoring vitamin A on the planet. If you absolutely cannot stomach liver, you can take desiccated liver capsules. But whole food is always superior because it contains cofactors and enzymes that pills don't have. Liver is remarkable. But the next food, and this might be the most important warning I will give you in this entire video, is something millions of seniors eat every single morning thinking it's healthy. And it can cause catastrophic interactions with one of the most commonly prescribed medications in the world. The 5th food is grapefruit. And I need you to listen very carefully to this section because this is not about optimization. This is about safety. Grapefruit is often promoted as an excellent source of vitamin C, which is true. It also contains antioxidants that are beneficial for eye health. But grapefruit also contains a class of compounds called furanocoumarins. And these compounds do something very dangerous inside your liver. They permanently block an enzyme called CYP3A4. This enzyme is responsible for breaking down and metabolizing over 50% of all prescription medications. When you eat grapefruit, that enzyme gets shut down. And here's the critical part. Once it's blocked, it stays blocked. Your liver has to manufacture new enzymes to replace the ones that were destroyed. And that process takes 24 to 72 hours. Now, if you're taking statins, which are cholesterol-lowering medications like atorvastatin, simvastatin, or lovastatin, be sure to talk to your healthcare provider before consuming grapefruit. Healthcare is evolving. It's no longer just about treatment, it's about the human experience. At the heart of every innovation is a person waiting for a better tomorrow. We're diving deeper into the human body than ever before, using data to drive care. Advanced technology meets clinical expertise to create seamless, personalized journeys. From the cellular level to global health systems, precision is our priority. Connectivity allows us to share breakthroughs in real time, regardless of geography. Because technology is only as powerful as the empathy that guides it. The future of medicine is proactive, predictive, and profoundly human. We're turning complex information into clear paths for healing. The result? More moments that matter for patients and their families. We are committed to the relentless pursuit of human-centered health, redefining healthcare. one person at a time. So Margaret started eating half a grapefruit every single morning with her breakfast. She thought she was doing something good for her body. For 2 weeks, she felt fine. Then she started noticing muscle pain in her legs. Deep, aching pain that got worse every day. Her urine turned dark brown. She felt nauseous and extremely fatigued. Her daughter insisted she go to the emergency room. At the ER, her creatine kinase levels, which measure muscle breakdown, were over 45,000 units per liter. Normal is under 200. Her kidney function was in acute failure. The ER doctor asked her a very specific question. "Have you been eating grapefruit?" She weakly whispered yes. He immediately stopped her statin and started IV fluids to flush the myoglobin out of her system before it caused permanent kidney damage. She spent 4 days in the hospital. Her nephrologist told her family that if she had waited another 24 hours, she might have needed emergency dialysis. Margaret recovered, but her kidney function never returned to baseline. She now has chronic kidney disease, stage 3, directly caused by a food-drug interaction that nobody warned her about. Now, I am not telling you to stop your medications. That would be irresponsible. What I'm telling you is to talk to your doctor or pharmacist and ask them directly, "Does grapefruit interact with anything I'm taking?" If you are on statins, the answer is yes. Avoid grapefruit completely. That includes the fruit, the juice, and even grapefruit-flavored products. There are other fruits that provide vitamin C without this risk. Oranges, strawberries, kiwis, bell peppers. All of them are safe, but grapefruit specifically is not. And if your doctor does need to adjust your medications, because you're making dietary changes that improve your cholesterol naturally, that is a good thing. But it has to be supervised, it has to be monitored. Now, I want to take a moment to say something that I think needs to be said more often. Losing your vision is not an inevitable part of aging. Your retinas, your lens, your macula, they are all living tissues made of cells that can be nourished, protected, and in many cases, repaired. I've seen patients in their 70s and 80s who were told by their ophthalmologists that their macular degeneration was just going to get worse, and there was nothing they could do except wait for it to progress. And I've watched those same patients stabilize their vision, and in some cases improve their contrast sensitivity and night vision through targeted nutrition. They are not genetically gifted, they are not superhuman. They are simply people who gave their bodies the specific raw materials needed to rebuild damaged cells, and who avoided the foods and drug combinations that were sabotaging their progress without them even knowing it. Yes, your rhodopsin production will decline. Yes, your lens will lose some flexibility. Yes, your macula will accumulate some oxidative damage. These are biological realities. But the degree to which they affect you, the speed at which they progress, and the impact they have on your ability to read, to drive, to see the faces of the people you love, that is largely within your control. Every single day you have a choice. You can accept declining vision as something that just happens and do nothing, or you can fight back with the most powerful tools we have, which are whole foods prepared correctly, eaten consistently, and combined intelligently to maximize absorption. Your body is more resilient than you think, but it needs your help. It is never too late to give your eyes what they've been asking for. If this video helped you, and I truly hope it did, please share it with someone you care about. Your mom, your dad, a neighbor, the friend who's been complaining about floaters, or struggling to read the menu at restaurants. This information could genuinely help them catch something early, or avoid a dangerous drug interaction like the one that put Margaret in the hospital. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because I release evidence-based content like this every single week, and I don't want you to miss it. Hit the like button. It helps this information reach more people who need it. Is your vision not as sharp as it used to be? Incorporate spinach, salmon, carrots, eggs, and berries into your diet to protect your eyes and boost your long-term health. And leave me a comment below telling me, have you noticed your vision declining over the past few years? And which of these 5 foods are you starting with first? I read every single comment, and your answers shape what I cover next. All of the studies referenced in this video are linked in the description below. I encourage you to read them, share them with your doctor, and ask the questions that most appointments don't leave time for. This is Julian Porter reminding you that no symptom is too small to pay attention to, and it is never too late to take control of your health. Take care of yourselves.